Welcome to Top 10 on Tuesday with More Solutions. My name's Lou Moore, here with my brother Chad, or something like that. It's where we cover 10 topics in 10 minutes. At least that's our goal. And I think I started last week. So, brother, why don't you start?
Well, first I'm going to start by saying I'm Lou Moore. You're Chad Moore. One thing I saw this week, last week, I talked about some things that are keeping us entertained or amused, inspired, or just keeping the spirits light. One for me this week was a beautiful comedy involving a lot of Nazis called Jojo Rabbit. Highly enjoy it. A love story of sorts, I think, but with it's just the sweetest, most charming movie that involves a lot of Nazis you're probably ever going to see. I highly recommend it, especially if you're a fan of maybe Wes Anderson films or something of the like. I think you'll get a kick out of it. I was certainly surprised by it and knew nothing going in. Just passing that along for those who haven't seen it.
I saw it when I was out of town traveling. Knew about it and was looking forward to it. But and I think I sent to you. I think Yorkie is one of the characters.
His little,
Absolutely steals every single scene he's in. He's
he's
awesome.
adorable and hilarious.
Yeah.
The Russians, Chocho, they're coming. And the Americans from the other way. And England, and China, and Africa, and India. The whole world is coming. Help me with this ammo. And how are we doing? Terribly. I'm only friends with the Japanese, and just between you and me, they don't look very Aryan.
My first one is, whenever things are going on either nationally or globally, there's certain words that start to pop up that, people start using over and over again. We heard one earlier today. I think you mentioned it even last time on the call. Unprecedented. We're in unprecedented times.
Indeed.
Another word is droplets, which is a word that I really don't care for. But I've decided what I've done is I like to put them together. So now when anybody's talking about the coronavirus or the pandemic, I just shake my head and with a straight face say, we're in a time of unprecedented droplets.
And they may populate on your screen at any moment.
Then that's that's right, and that's my only comment to anything anybody talks about. The virus. We're in a time of unprecedented droplets.
Unprecedented droplets.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, it fits. It fits. It really does. It fits the mood. I think perfectly. I'm on the road at the moment and doing a trunk show, a park show, a tent show, something. It's a show and it's outdoors. So whatever the format, myself and some other reps, hopefully some people will come out and see us. It will have happened when this chat is aired. So no point in hyping it other than to say, I think it's a nice way to get out and see clients and, be able to show product and communicate in a safe way. Socially distant, people could stay in their cars or, they're set up in various ways, but I think it's been real nice, the ones I've done so far. Sometimes very warm, so looking forward to the fall.
That happens in the summer in the South.
A couple of torrential downpours, so use the products that are best with weather or cleanability. I would say a nice kind of tailgating tent that you may have some extra you won't be using for football, or maybe you will. We don't know.
No,
remains to be.
We might win this airs. Who knows?
SEC. Right. So that's mine.
Mine, this I wasn't even going to be on my list, but this happens twice in a row, like yesterday and then today, where I was out and I was wearing my mask and found that it's difficult to recognize people that when half their face is covered. And so yesterday saw somebody I knew, went up and was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And she looked at me and she goes, "Chad?" I'm like, "Yes, it's me." And then today, this lady was like, "Hey, how are you?" And just super excited to see me. I had no idea who she was. And so finally she, relates how we know each other. And I'm like, okay, I'm so sorry. It's just that, totally different context. And secondly, half your face is missing from view. So it makes it very difficult to recognize. And then this is another point about masks is, I don't know if you go through this or not, but whenever I'm putting my mask on to go into a place, what's going through my mind is, yep, going to go rob them. Every time I'm about to go in, that just kind of goes, I haven't. I've yet to rob anybody, but it does go through my mind.
it does bring up the feelings of, as a kid being a bandito and dressing up, like you're going to
Yeah.
take into the woods and you're going to rustle some cattle or
Yeah.
something.
Right.
Um, I find every time I put my mask on, I end up covering my eyes first somehow. I'm like, okay, I did that wrong. Let's get it down.
That's extra safe because
It's
you're not supposed to touch your eyes or just.
it's too safe in this case. I thought I'd bring up a product since apparently I didn't do that last time, and there was some criticism from some about
Phew.
yes, I don't know, co-hosts and others. But one product, I mean, obviously some, as one said, unprecedented time of droplets. I found that the Krug Pharaon chair is still just wildly successful all throughout this time. Continues to be specified and sold, and orders coming in. So those who have not seen it, maybe check it out. It has a great deal of variety: wood, metal arms. They're ganging, linking, kinetic backs. They hold 500 pounds. There's lounge versions. I think it's got a timeless design. They all hold 500 pounds. Some of them hold more. And it starts at like 772 list. So it's a price point of almost any regular side chair with a lot more going on and more robust.
And it's made for healthcare, which right now is great. Even if you can put that into a commercial environment and it works fine.
Yeah,
And it's
with solid surface arm caps,
yeah.
it looks really great, but it could go anywhere, and it's really comfortable. But it's all replaceable, and it's a great value.
My next one, I was going to just coordinate with you, is I keep getting emails about this, and since we work together, I wanted to make sure that we're not double dipping. But I didn't know if you had bought the NeoCon attendee list yet, because I was,
I have received countless emails offering me really once in a lifetime opportunity to get in on this database of the 2020 attendees for a show that did not happen.
I'm wondering if the people that send that out, either they're unaware that it didn't happen, or they know the event so well that they know that a lot of people drink heavily and might have forgotten. Like every year they get back from NeoCon, they're like, I think I went. I don't remember it, but I went. I go every year.
Same list every year, regardless. They're pretty sure they know who was going to be there, even though it didn't happen. I think it's a really good investment for those who get in on that deal.
It's only like $1,200.
Yeah. Speaking of the emails, I got one from, I think it was one of the virtual libraries. I won't mention who, but and it was for a chair called the Be Good. It was B period good with an E on the end, and it's an anti.
You can buy it. You can buy it in the Shopee.
Yeah, ye old Shopee, I think. But it comes with antimicrobial vinyl and copper arms. So they're going all in there. I mean, you can sit in that thing and maybe live forever. You don't even have to wear the bracelets. The whole arms of the chair are copper. And I was like, it was called Woodstock Marketing was the company that made it. And I'd never heard of that. So I had to do a little deep dive into that. Of course, just out of general interest. Seems they're a company that make a lot of products that you've seen originally somewhere else by some other manufacturer.
Right.
But they claim all like original designs made for them somewhere in Asia. And even the logo I thought was interesting because even though they have a disclaimer that they have nothing whatsoever to do with the Woodstock Music Festival, their logo is the logo, roughly, of the Woodstock Music Festival.
Well, they've got to say that because you might be confused by the logo.
You might be confused in that there's a guitar with a bird on it, a dove, whatever that piece,
Right.
is the logo for their knockoff and antimicrobial chair company. So check that out.
Yeah, well, and that actually kind of dovetails into my next one, which, with the pandemic, looking at our industry as a whole and how we've responded to it, I've been a little disappointed in the way we've responded to the pandemic and coming back to work, in that, we've spent the last 2 decades talking about, sustainable materials, green materials, LEED, environmental, design. And our response largely has been plastic. Let's put plastic everywhere. and not just any sort of plastic, acrylic, which is nearly impossible to recycle.
Sustainability went straight out the window with COVID. Let's bleach on everything. Everything is vinyl and everything is plastic. We can't use sustainable materials because they won't hold up to the bleach that we're now spraying on everything. It's a very good point. My last one is a follow-up point from last week where I talked about the lovely and talented Sarah Cooper, who's become quite the internet star of TikTok videos doing her kind of Trump karaoke. A tale of success, if you will, or a pandemic success story. She hosted Jimmy Kimmel Live this week.
Did she really?
She did. I guess he's on vacation, has some guest host. I'm not sure she'd ever been on like a national TV program before. I only saw the monologue, which was great. She did it with, Guillermo, his co-host guy, is in a
Right.
Zoom thing. I mean, Rob Lowe hosted it the next night. Pretty good company. But she said she had to, thank her, I think, nephews or whoever introduced her to TikTok. She's 43, started the year doing late night sets at a pizza place in Jersey, and now is hosting Jimmy Kimmel Live. So
That's
here's
pretty
hoping
solid.
she gets her own show. Very
Yeah.
talented.
My last one circles back to masks. And I know I've mentioned this to you before, but I've become a bit of a mask snob as this goes further and further. And really, I see people out and they're wearing masks, and I should be thinking, thank you for thinking of others. And instead, I'm thinking, oh, you got that at Home Depot. And the problem I've got with it, I think it's the medical ones that look like they're not actually medical. They look like medical masks, and they're disposable. And so I end up shopping, and I look around and I'm surrounded by medical professionals all buying dog food, and I'm like, what's going? Is there something in the dog food that saves you from the unprecedented droplets? Is that something?
Yeah.
And because they're disposable, you'll find them like on the sidewalk. Like people will take them off like they're done with it. And I don't know why I'm so revolted by the mask on the sidewalk, but maybe it's the amount of material and the little straps. But it makes me think of like a used thong or something that's laying there.
Yeah.
And so I figured, that would be a nice visual for everybody here as we end.
But if it gives you any comfort, just know it was pretty much just cupping their chin anyway. So,
Right. Yeah.
support to the underside of their chin.
Yeah. But it just seems like, at this point, it's part of the wardrobe. So, go ahead and just spend $10. And I also wonder why companies like Target and everybody don't have company masks that they supply their employees that have slogans on them, or what, have you bought stamps or, something there. It seems like that would be good. But we're at almost over 12 minutes, so probably should wrap it up. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Y'all be careful out there.
All right. Peace.
Peace.